Yeah, that's in the game. I think we're in the game. Okay. Speaking of being in the game, I forgot a lighting component. That's not that bad, but it's going to happen from time to time, and I forget stuff. Okay. Gonna stick with a theme today. It's an old theme. I get it. It's this thing I've been on about. Well, basically, I've been on about the environment and climate change and stuff like that. It's something I regard as very important. The reason why I regard it as important is because, hell, man, it's important. We can go on and on about it, but right now, if you look in Canada, we have the province of Alberta is on fire, and if that's not it's not technically irony. I think it's a twist of fate, is what it is. It's on fire because climate change has elevated the temperature. It's removed, it lowered the combustion point for a lot of trees by having them more dry than normal. It's more warm than normal, but actually the normal is normal. It's I hate that word, the new normal, but you know, normal changes. Our idea of the status quo, it moves around, it moves around, it moves around. Well, by the way, my name's Bruce. This is my channel. It is what it is. You get what you get. I hope it's riveting and exciting content, but heck, I'm not sure. But on this thing about climate change, heat pumps, induction cooking, natural gas. Okay, I'll do a little, get out my chalkboard here and do some discussing. Okay, natural gas. Natural gas. If you've been following along, you know I don't like to get overly technical sometimes. I get as technical as necessary, but let's not be any more technical than is absolutely necessary. So in this idea of natural gas, let's say that natural gas is stuff that you burn. It comes from the decay of organic material, the decomposition, but that takes hundreds of millions of years. And the material decomposes into basically it decomposes into a bunch of organic compounds. It's a physical mixture. I just found something on the ground. It decomposes into a physical mixture of anes: methane, ethane, butane, propane, isobutane, normal butane, C5 plus products. Included in that physical mixture is going to be water, hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, a whole bunch of stuff. All right, but that stuff lives entrained in rock, in the porosity, the pores of rock, the pores of dolomite. Largely, it's dolomite is limestone that has been dolomitized. Dolomitization means that the calcium ion has been replaced with potassium, and it makes it a little more spacious, so it can hold some gas. But anyway, that's what natural gas is, and then you burn it, and it goes in the atmosphere as after a bunch of stuff has happened. It goes in the atmosphere as carbon dioxide and water, and the carbon dioxide blankets the earth and warms us up. And if you want to know what that feels like, I challenge you to sleep in your bedroom. Set the temperature in your bedroom to 14 degrees Celsius, or about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't have any blankets on your bed, see how you feel. Then put a sheet on, see how that feels. Put another sheet on, see how that feels. Put on a down-filled comforter, see how that feels. Comfort. The comforter brings you comfort because it allows your body heat to be retained in your bed, and you're cozy and you're happy and you sleep. That's kind of what happens with the earth. Is this carbon dioxide blankets the earth, the proportion thereof goes up, and the temperature the amount of energy that's entrained in the atmosphere goes up and up and up and up and up. And it might not sound like a big deal, if you're walking down the street. If you stop somebody on the street and you say, hey, what's going to happen if the average temperature of the earth goes up by 1 degree? You ask that to most people in Canada, they're going to say, awesome, it means I'm going to be warmer. But in reality, that's just a mistake. The answer is horrible, because the average temperature goes up a little bit. The intensity of storms and climate events goes up by a whole lot, and everything gets wrecked and destroyed. Ecosystems die and the planet decays. But not going to go on and on about that too much. So natural gas, in summary, natural gas is bad. And I found this other one here on the ground, a piece of chalk. Bad. Natural gas. Bad. Okay, now let's talk about the Big Apple. Okay, bonk. New York. Start spreading the news. New York City. New York City. And then there's New York State. Okay? New York City and New York State have done something remarkable. What they've done is they've said, no more natural gas. New buildings, no more natural gas. Now there's fine print to this, but there's not a lot of fine print. Are there exceptions? Not really. Going forward, no more natural gas. Right. If you want to get the really, really long explanation, you can, look it up in the New York Times, you can read the legislation, you can do a whole bunch of stuff like that. But in summary, no more natural gas. And you know what that is a code word for when you say something like that? That is a code word. Another way of saying this: leadership. 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 What is leadership? Leadership is when the people that are in charge, the people that are influencing your life, those people, they identify the correct course of action. They pay attention to experts. They identify experts. They listen to what the experts have to say, and that influences the course of action. And the people, the legislators of New York City, New York State, they've been paying attention, and they know that natural gas is bad. Climate change is real. It's a big deal. And so what can we do? Well, no more natural gas. And that is an example of leadership. Now, the opposite of leadership is not being a leader, but the opposite of leadership is pandering to the base wants of the populace. So, if we grab 30 people off the street and we say, hey, the temperature is going to go up by, the globe is going to go up by, increase by 2 degrees Celsius on average over, let's just arbitrarily say, the next 20 years. Do you think that's good? Say, yeah. And then you kind of explain to them, say why it's bad, and they say, oh, that's bad. And then you say, okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to not have any combustion. We're going to eliminate combustion. That's the plan. Electrify absolutely everything. So what does that mean? That means gas cars? No. They say, wait a second, I want my gas car. So then a not leader says, all right, well, then let's delay this. We'll delay the transition to gas cars by forever. Okay, and then they say, well, what else does it mean? Say we're not going to use natural gas or combustion or coal or furnace oil in heating our house. We're going to use heat pumps and electricity. Electricity is going to come from renewable sources. And then the person says, well, what does that mean? Am I going to have to pay something? And say, well, yeah, you're going to have to pay something, but we'll give it back to you. They say, no, I don't want to pay it. So the not leader says, the heck with it. We'll postpone that till forever. And then we'll stick our heads into the leaves or into the forest or into the whatever we have to stick our heads into, and we'll pretend that it's not a big deal. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter. And that's not being a leader. Leaders face the problems that exist. Leaders look to the future. You lead for tomorrow. You lead for tomorrow. You lead for next year, you lead for your children. That's it. And if you've been following along in these videos, you'll note I like to talk about ideas, I like to talk about economics and things that are important from the realm of public policy, but one of the sort of a trope of politics these days is to say we have to stop spending and we can't burden our children with all kinds of debt and they'll never be able to pay it. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know that governments do not actually spend money. And this whole nonsense about, oh, our children aren't going to be able to repay the debt, well, notice to the world, it doesn't matter. And who's going to pay it back? Nobody, ever. That's the fact of the deal right there, okay? So, but anyway, leadership. New York State, natural gas, gone. Furnace oil, no way. All right, so now I'm gonna make this a little bit practical here for a second. And if you live in a climate that's warm, if you live in the part of Canada that gets hot as bejubies in the summertime, otherwise known, say, as Toronto, there you go, and you say, hey, my house is too hot in the summer and I want to have air conditioning. Well, it's not that you want to have air conditioning, it's that you want to be comfortable. And if you go back and look at all my videos, you'll say I tried to separate out the utility from the object. So nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to buy an air conditioner. What they do is they say, I want to be comfortable. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the air conditioning, heat pumps. Heat pumps. Okay, so if you call your heating contractor or your HVAC salesperson, what they want to do is get paid. They want to get their commission. So they're going to sell you whatever's easy and whatever they make the most money on. That's just the way the world works. Okay. Now, if you're buying an air conditioner, you are making a mistake. You do not want an air conditioner. What you want is a heat pump. What you want is to have your house well insulated with decent air sealing and address a whole bunch of issues with leakage. But a cooling only air conditioner, that was a great idea in 1952. Well, it's 2023, doesn't make as much sense. So a heat pump is basically an air conditioner really it's 99.9% the same as an air conditioner, 0.01% different. You can correct my math, I don't care. So what you really want is a heat pump. The heat pump's going to do is it's going to warm your house when you want warming. It's going to cool your house when you want cooling. And the installation cost and the cost of buying the equipment and all that stuff should be approximately the same. Now, your heating contractor will explain to you that it's going to cost more. It's not the same, it's complicated and whatever. But remember, it's kind of like if your only tool is a hammer, everything starts to look a whole lot like a nail. And there you go. Now, reality of the world is that if you're a homeowner and you find that your house is too cold, too hot, or you're paying too much money for energy, then most people, just because of background, it's not a judgment, it's just reality. What you're going to do is you're going to reach out to your heating contractor or look in the yellow pages or Google it up on the internet, and someone's going to come to your house, or you're going to talk to them on the phone or whatever, and they're going to try to basically sell you something. Okay, so what I'm suggesting is that a heating contractor is not necessarily the best source of knowledge when it comes to heating your house. That's a fact. Good source of knowledge is someone that's knowledgeable about energy systems, about houses, about insulation, about understands the whole ins and outs of the whole deal. And what they should do is make a list of things that are affecting your comfort and how they're going to be addressed. And so the insulation of your house, the air sealing of your house, the windows of your house, the manner in which energy exits and enters your house, very important. And the other important thing is your ultimate goal is to have no combustion whatsoever inside your house. So gas stove, no. Gas furnace, no. Oil furnace, no. Boiler, no. What you want to have is a heat pump. And what you want to have is a well-insulated house. And what you want to have, ideally, is a renewable interface of energy. There's many ways you can do that, but in short, the best energy for your house is by reducing the amount of energy that's crossing the boundary of your walls. I know I've been going on a bit. I know I've been away for a bit, and that's it. My name's Bruce. This is my channel. It's my classroom in the forest, and I like to talk about stuff. I get it that I'm long-winded. That's it, but I hope that it's not that bad. Oh, by the way, I'm offering a special deal. The deal is I'm offering a coffee to the first 10 people that reach out to me and say, hey, what about that coffee? Let's get together, we'll have coffee, and I have some questions about all that nonsense you've been spewing about economics and heat pumps and home heating and climate change. So let's talk about it in person. So if you're near enough, I'll buy you the coffee, right? Take it easy, okay? First 10 people. Bye now.